Hello, good morning, everybody. Kevin Chan here again, 70D in the morning as usual. And today we're gonna talk about, story from the journey from the West, our dear old Sun Wukong story, right? So, and today we're gonna talk about power and how power is actually being balanced. And this could be a reflective story on what is happening around you if you don't really understand how power works. Hello, Manuel. Hello, Pekpoi. Hello, Sun Shining. Guanbun, Kelvin, Brian, PJ, Gigi. How you doing? Hey, Gigi, long time no see. Right, so you seems to be busy on your social media, right? All right, so now, Journey to the West is one of the storyline that is being presented in the eastern side, so pretty famous. And if you don't know, it's because of the recent Black Myth Wukong game that was published in China that actually re-stir up this particular story. Right, so this was a very long story, and Journey to the West, I think, is one of the most used story in Chinese movie theme, redo, and redo. I don't know how many different version there is already. All right, so that's basically it. Right, so today, so a lot of time I just do a bit of a newscast. I hear there is a big typhoon going over to Guangzhou. Yeah, right. So it's for a very long time, it didn't hit Taiwan. When you talk about typhoon, usually it will hit Taiwan first, but this time it seems like it skipped Taiwan, right? So and going to whack Guangzhou a bit, right? So Guangzhou there seems to be in a bit of a red alert, right? It's a bit, right? I'm watching replay. Right? Good, right? You're watching replay. All right, come, let's go in and take a look at Sun Wukong. We have covered a few things for Sun Wukong the other day. We have covered that Sun Wukong is about 1,000 years old. Yeah, right. So it's about 1,000 years old fella, right? So before he actually joined this, right? So Huailan was affected quite badly, right? So a lot of places it's affected. Even Kuala Lumpur yesterday, the just called strong wind, right? It's a bit freaky where a lot of tree fell. A lot of tree fell, so as usual, a lot of car was freakingly damaged by the tree. Right, by the way, tree fell, damaged car, insurance don't pay one. Huh? Yes. So please don't park too near an old tree. And as usual, human, the way that they deal with this situation, they start cutting tree. Yeah. Right, so Malaysia, there's no such thing as tree conservation, right? All right, so now back to this one, so our Sun Wukong, so you guys know so a few thousand years old fella, right? So so which means he has experience, right? So now this one is this particular portion is for you to understand the earlier portion of the Sun Wukong adventure, right? So before the Journey of the West was started, right? So then you start to see that there is this power place that's happening, and Sun Wukong happened to be one of the sad little chess pieces at that point in time. Because why? He doesn't know the rule, ma. So a lot of us, when we go in and join a certain organization, we actually don't know the rule. Right? So we actually don't know the rules, so we don't know what to do. But over time, as you mature in the organization, or what we call when you mature at the society, you start to see this sort of thing. You start to play by the rule. Everybody start to play by the rule. So today we're going to talk about this thing called balance of power. Right. So now, by the way, this is the four greatest. You want to call novel? You want to call novel, right? So CUG is the one that we are talking about now. Journey to the West. Then we got 水浒传, right? So 水浒传 is water margins, right? Water margins. I remember the English name, water margin. Then there's 三国演义 is Romance of the Three Kingdoms. Then we got 红楼梦, right? So 红楼梦 guys like 红楼梦a lot. Right, so if you translate this to modern drama, then the CUG is the fantasy sci-fi. It's a fantasy sci-fi genre, right? So 水浒传 is the drama, right? So it's the drama, right? Drama mean that it's usually the more boring daily stuff, right? So eat fries, this kind of boring dreaming. Then the 三国演义 is your action adventure, right? So 三国演义 is the action adventure. 红楼梦 is your romance show. Okay, right? So this is the four particular shows. So if got time and I'm very free, got nothing to do, so I'll probably, do a bit, stories from Water Margin, stories from Three Kingdoms. So right now, stories from COG first. Okay, right. So we do that first. Just introduce a bit, just introduce a bit. Some great stories of our eastern side, right? So eastern side, great story, right? So yes, COG, right? So COG, right? So do you know in the world of COG, right? So no, don't say world of COG in this particular story of COG, right? So it's very centered on the heaven court, Tin heaven court, right? So and also you will start to wonder whether this heaven court belong to which religion. It's a mixture, right? So this heaven court, right? So you will see that the heaven court, actually have Taoism thingy inside, then got Buddhism thingy inside, right? So you got the释迦牟尼, right? Then you got the Guan Yin Da Si, right? So Guan Yin, the Buddha, those are basically under Buddhism clan, and it's basically inside this story. Then you got your the general Taoism stuff is all inside. So can you see that it is basically an amalgamation of whatever religion that you can think of. Everybody is there. Right. So everybody religion is there. So now to me is that don't bother, right? So I've already explained to you the some of the China's different, at least the three main we're not called religion, belief, philosophical understanding, right? Which is the Taoism, the Confucianism, and also Buddhism, with a sideline of shamanism around, right? So this four is basically the most influential type, right? So this story have a lot of this insight. But if I ask you, who do you think is the most powerful in the heaven realm? Right, so you want to call it heaven realm, right? So this is the heaven realm story, right? So who's the most powerful in the heaven realm? So for those of you who got a little bit of experience in it, you will know that there is somebody called Wukong Dadi, Jade Emperor, right? So the Jade Emperor Wukong Dadi, right? So he's the he's the emperor of the heaven realm, lah, right? So he's the emperor of the heaven realm. So he should be the most powerful fella, right? But in actual sense, not exactly one. Right, so now this is the part that is very interesting, right? So now for any organization at all, now a lot of time you would expect or you would think that the CEO, or what you call the general manager, whether CEO, general manager, doesn't matter, depending on how big is the organization, aka called the boss, should be the most powerful fellow, right? At least from outside you will take a look at it, correct or not? But sometimes maybe not one. Sometimes maybe not. Sometimes certain department or certain people over time may have accumulated too much power. So this is the time whereby in history also a lot of time you see why the certain general, when they achieve too many victory, they end up getting killed. Yeah, when you overpower, the whoever that is in power feel threatened, and they will get rid of you. Okay, so this is where petty people, right? So those people you think, oh no, this is a corrupt government official. But have you ever think how this a corrupt government, basically corrupt whatever it is, how come they can survive one? If you are living in a black and white justice, moralistic situation, do you think why does these people have place to exist? Because they got role to play. Their exact role is to get rid of this sort of over powerful subject, you want to call it, right? So the emperor, the king, the whoever is in power actually utilizes these people, right, to go and get rid of because the king cannot directly get rid of them. They cannot directly get rid of them. You directly get rid of the people will revolt against the emperor. The emperor knows that. The emperor knows that. So I cannot directly attack you. So what they do is that they need to use a invisible third hand to come and get rid of you, right? So if you take a look at a lot of the story, right? So like for example, Yue Fei, Yue Fei is the fella who at the back, the mother tattoo the 精忠报国, so it's a really powerful general, right? So yeah, he was called back, and then he was murdered, man. Right, so and then he said that, then the emperor said that, no, I was wrong, I was being influenced by the bad, so you see, where got influenced by the bad one. And then the one that also you guys are very familiar with, Qu Yuan. Qu Yuan is the dumpling festival, right? The Mid-Autumn Dumpling Festival, right? The fellow also is the same, right? So it was a great contributor to the country. Then was framed by the bad people. He think bad people frame him. Right? He's actually the emperor who actually does all these things, right? So and then he go and dump in the river, and then the emperor go, oh no, I'm wrong. Oh, I make mistake. This sort of acting, a lot one. All right, so this one is basically to tell you, the journey to the west. Actually, he slot in all this information inside, to people who can see it, cannot see. Right, so I'm introducing to you, the powerful people in the heaven courts. Right, who are the powerful people in the heaven courts? Number one, Taisang Laojun. You guys know, right? So this one, supposedly by legend, this fellow is supposed to be Lao Tzu. Supposed to be Lao Tzu, right? So Lao Tzu, which is the guy who you want to call invented, advocated Taoism, right? So he's the one who wrote Tao Te Ching, right? So the entire word Tao is basically coined by this particular fellow Lao Tzu. Now whether Lao Tzu become Taisang Laojun or not, I don't care first lah. Just story, right? So what does Taisang Laojun do in the heaven court? He is the fellow who made this tan, what do you call tan? Tablet pill. Right, this particular pill. He's the one who made this particular. So the effect of the pill is basically like a energy recharging, right? After you eat already, you can get back all the energy that you lost. Right, so it's basically that, right? So so it's a very powerful thing, because again, in the heaven court, whatever you do, you use energy, right? So you fight with people, you use energy, and the entire idea is to accumulate energy, right? And this is the the cheat code, right? So and he has the cheat code recipe, right? By the way, if you take a look at it, he seems to be the only one who is manufacturing pill. So he's the court pill manufacturer. So he's very powerful, because he can lend power to people who do not have power, right? So and he has been very, very powerful, right? So very powerful, as in the Jade Emperor also don't dare to touch him, because if Jade Emperor touch him, right? So how? Now who's gonna produce this pill, right? So no. Now if you take a look at it, right, there seems to be no other people who can produce this particular pill. Now at the same time, right? You guys know lah, no. So if this is very what we call a person who produce a lot, right? The quota of production usually goes higher and higher. Right? So this is like your sales quota, right? So if this year you achieve 1 million, next year you think they will tell you, 800,000 will be fine. No, they will tell you 1.3 million, then 1.5 million, 2 million, 2.3 million. It's like those people who open the number, right? It's like he also is subjected to the same thing, because he need to submit. He have to submit the pill, right, on a periodic basis to the heaven realm. Correct or not? But at the same time, he is also accumulating too much power. So the Jade Emperor cannot directly touch this particular old guy. Very powerful, and direct fight also probably lose, right? So it's Taisang Laojun. By the way, Taisang Laojun is the Taoism highest deity, right? So it's basically Taisang Laojun. So this one is the head honcho of the entire Taoism sect. This fella. So you can see powerful. So another one more powerful fella, right? So another one more powerful fella, right? Wang Mu Niang Niang. Now Wang Mu Niang Niang is not Jade Emperor's wife, please, they are working colleague only, they are not the wife, please, a lot of people think that Wang Mu Niang Niang is like, because they always, sit together, the what we call Jade Emperor, so and also Wang Mu Niang Niang, they are usually, they are sitting together. Some people confuse that, they are husband and wife. They are not husband and wife, they are just colleague. right? You just think of the Heaven Court as a corporation, right? So she is in charge of Pan Tao. Pan Tao is the one that give youth, make you look pretty, right? So so that you don't turn old, right? So now you see when you're immortal, does not mean you don't grow old. You still grow old. It's just that your life seems to be a bit longer. Though. So she's in charge of this. Now, same thing is subjected. She have to submit, produce a certain amount of Pan Tao peach. Basically, it's peach, right? So it's peaches, right? So to the courts as tribute. So at the same time, also because again she have access or control over one of these magical product that can keep everybody youthful. So for those who want to be youthful, so you can say that God deities also so vain. Yes, no. Yes, no, right? So this is why people is a bit vain, right? So she's also subjected to the same ever increasing quota, and she's also ever increasingly more powerful, because as more and more people get addicted to this sort of stuff, right? So this is basically no effort result, you take one of those pill, right? So then you suddenly become vitalized and invigorate, right? So you see, you don't need to to go to DDD, like they no need to do any of this, or you can take one of these peaches, right? So Pan Tao, right? So by the way, the Sa He Sang, right? So Sa He Sang, right? The one of the what we call your journey to the west, right? So the Sa He Sang, right? So is the one that accidentally break the bowl that was carrying the Pan Tao, and his punishment was to be sent to the earth to be punished. Yeah, right. So just drop the Pan Tao, and then you know how important and powerful it is, right? And then the last fella, right? So last fella is Zhen Yuan Da Si, right? So now this one is not, this fella is not exactly what we call heaven deity. This is called earth deity. Earth deity means that is on the earth realm, right? So earth deity, he is in charge of the longevity fruits, 长生果, right? This is the one that directly gives longer lifespan to people, right? So can you see all these three fella basically is in command of the heaven cheat code, right? Superior vitality, superior youth, superior longevity, right? So these three fella, right? So now again, he is also subjected to the same thing. He need to submit a certain amount of these fruits to the heaven court from time to time. So which means that their number of things that they need to submit keep on increasing. They also know that it's gonna be problematic eventually. The king also know that the Jade Emperor also know that it is problematic. Related to Black Wukong? No, not related to Black Wukong. Black Wukong storyline is way after the Journey to the West. Is way after the Journey to the West, right? So this is before Journey to the West, right? So now, how do you stop this three fella, right? Hoka deity. Got power. Maybe God, I don't know. Right? So now, how do you stop this three fella? Right? So this three fella is basically overpowered already, right? So which means that the Jade Emperor cannot directly touch them, because if the Jade Emperor directly touch them, who's gonna supply you with the fruits? Who's gonna supply you with the pill? Who's gonna supply you with the Pan Tao, the peach, right? So no one. They are basically monopoly. You start to see monopoly business, right? Direct resource. Right? So they are basically monopoly thing, right? But cannot do these things. So what do? You ask a third party to come in, and who is the stupid third party? Who's the stupid third party, right? So you tell me, right? So you guys know what his story is, right? Right. So who's the unruly victim that got into trouble for doing this? Right. So now these are powerful people. So if you are one of the powerful people in your company, right, or in the country, doesn't matter whatever sense, you accumulate power through certain things that you are contributing. Right. So like for example, for Malaysia, there was once a guy who was very good at producing sugar. right? So he named Sugar King. He's a Malaysian, right? So what happened to him? You guys know lah, right? So right now he's in Hong Kong, helping the Chinese government. Right, so it's one of those situations. No, in company also it's the same. Let's say that you are the top producer of the company, so you control the you basically control the revenue of the company. So the entire company revenue is basically under your care, right? So it's like you're the top revenue producer, basically called the sales director. Right? So now what happened? When you are getting more and more powerful, you are even more powerful than the owner of the company. The owner will get rid of you, right? You will have certain people, right? Sugar King don't eat sugar. That's why long lifespan. Right, so or you could be the finance, you can be the finance manager of the company and you are controlling the finance. The boss cannot even spend any money without your approval, right? So you could be overpowerful and then boss will get rid of you, right? So but the boss cannot directly get rid of you. They can't directly attack these people. So what they do is that they will use third party. Right, so this is where you call petty people, right? So a lot of time petty people is people who's actually working together with the boss. You think the boss is nice guy, right? Right, so come, let's take a look, right? So you guys know Sun Wukong is the the stupid fella, right? So a bit of advertising first. Right, so do come over to the Telegram. You want to PM me. By the way, right now I'm preparing the 2026 forecast, right? So on Substack, right? So starting from October, it will start to publish every week. So 12 of them for the next 12 weeks. So it's a pretty detailed guide. So if you want, do go to Substacks. And also, we also, of course, always have the Facebook community, right? Right, just get rid of my boss. So we got a Facebook community. Come and join. Any platform you want to PM me, feel free to do so. All right, so don't be shy. Right. So now what happened here is that Sun Wukong, right? So you see, now Sun Wukong went and do this thing called the fighting the heaven court, right? So 大鬧天宮, right? 孫悟空, 大鬧天宮, right? So you heard that, right? So what happened is that he went up, he actually destroyed the pill making cauldron. Yeah, right. So the Taisang Lao Jun, tried to capture Sun Wukong, put him inside the cauldron that's supposed to make pill, right? So burn him for 749 天, right? So 49 days, right? So which causes him to develop the 金睛火眼 golden eye, whatever that you call, right? So golden piercing eye, so I don't even know what's the English name for it, right? So and then what he do is that he destroyed the cauldron and the cauldron fell down to planet Earth and it causes the it's I don't know what I call real or not, right? There is a very very hot desert in China, right? So right now a lot of people go to visit that place, right? That's where the cauldron come in. The cauldron inside got this thing called 三昧真火. Right, so again, all this kind of stuff, don't need to remember one. It's just story, right? So it's a very powerful and potent fire, right? So they fell down on planet Earth and that place. So right now, Taisang Logan, the what we call the cauldron destroyed already, cannot make pill. Still powerful or not you? Now the means of you to manufacture pill is gone already. Right, so you can see, the Jade Emperor right now has effectively gotten rid of his power. Without who to blame? Right? Sun Wukong is the one. Right? Sun Wukong is the one. Right? So then he also destroyed or fell the Pan Tao tree. Yeah, the peach tree, right? So he whacked the particular tree. Right, and the tree gadena. I see. Same method, got rid of Wang Mu Liang Liang's ability to do this, right? So you see, cut power, right? So and same thing also with the tree on the earth, which belong to Zhen Yuan Dao Zhang, right? So also gone. Right? Gone. Right? Full secret and example. Thank you so much. So you can see, right? One Sun Wukong got rid of all of them. right? Right. Now tell me, they can easily actually repair the entire situation. Actually, they can repair this. Like for example, the longevity tree that is on planet Earth. The Guan Yin actually came down and just revived the tree. Got the tree revived. Right, so done. Right, so which means that they actually don't need Sun Wukong to do all these things. Right? They actually don't need Sun Wukong. So which means that if the Jade Emperor were to wanted to kill the tree, it would just pluck like that, the tree would be dead lah, right? But again, I tell you, if he do that, it will be not good lah, right? The rest of the people will lose confidence, if you do this kind of thing directly. So that's why a lot of time they cannot do this thing indirectly. They need an external party to come in, instigator, which is what stupid Sun Wukong was, right? So if you don't know, they actually tested Sun Wukong long time ago. You remember? Of course you don't remember. Right. Taizang Laojun has a Quadrant backup because Quadrant is on cloud. Right, so back to this one, right? So back to this particular, you remember that Sun Wukong went down to the hell and cancel his name from the Book of Death. Right, so cancel his name from both. It's also it's also part of the thing. That was actually the initial test, whether Sun Wukong is easy to manipulate around. So I told you, right? Sun Wukong so powerful, can fight so many things. Oh, la. How come a low-ranking hell officer can actually manage to take his soul down to heaven, down there, right? So you must understand right now is that the power that the Sun Wukong able to display was actually something that is allowed by the system. Everybody who basically play inside this system, allowed this to happen, and they actually encourages Sun Wukong to do all this stuff to bolster his confidence, right? So sometimes stupid people don't know that they are being played lah. Just put it in a way lah. So, and Sun Wukong took almost 1,000 years to start to realize all these things. Before this, he think he was very super. So now a lot of youngster, when you just join a company, right? So now compared to somebody who has been in the company, let's say for 40 years, you have been inside the company, or just say that you have been inside the employment pool. Doesn't need to be one company. You've been inside the employment pool for the past 40 years. You got 40 years experience, and there is this young chap who just joined the company, like for 2 or maybe 3 years. So you can see the young chap joined 2 or 3 years, right? Doesn't have enough battle experience, but they have something called guts, just like Sun Wukong. They got something called guts, right? So they basically don't. You can see that their achievement basically is a bit exponential, right? So, and these are people who are usually used as pawn to unravel certain things, right? Certain people is very powerful, or it's too much already, right? The system will send these people inside and cause havoc, right? So cause havoc, then the thing collapse. The thing collapse, then you get to restructure the thing. A lot of this happening, right? So you don't know, right? So you see, this story already long time ago, already start to tell you all of this already, right? So he go and whack everything, right? So whack everything. They can just fix it up, but no, they didn't. So when you whack everything that time, there's a communication, subline communication that tells the other party, nah, this time give you a warning, right? Too powerful already, this time give you a warning, right? So next time, don't. And see, that's a subtle warning to that particular fellow. And the other fellow also is like, why didn't the fellow fight back? At the same time, right, you know that he got a quota to submit. Right now, the entire thing gone already. All the quota basically cancelled. Ayah, gone already. Not my fault. I cannot submit this much already. Then, both parties has an agreement to reset. That's the only way for you to reset performance, by the way. Yes lah, right? So yes, so you let the thing collapse, right? You let the thing collapse, right? So you let the thing collapse, then you rebuild from bottom. So that's why a lot of company you see that they allow. So a lot of company that collapses, actually sometimes the system allowed it to collapse, right? So maybe again, maybe one day we talk about money, really talk about money supply, money demand. Then that a lot of the cycle is basically manufactured. right? So but anyway, come back to this. Then you guys know what happened, right? So then the fella called Badi Serjamoni, right? Great Buddha, and then put Sun Wukong in jail for 500 years. Right? Sun Wukong, huh? What happened? Huh? What happened? Right? It's during this 500 year that he keep on thinking that he now start to understand that, oh, there's this big system that is actually running on top of me, right? So this bunch of old fox, Lo Wu Lei, right? So now if Sun Wukong is 1,000 years old, right? So you tell me the Jade Emperor is how long already? It will be very, very long, right? The Jade Emperor will be very, very long, right? So and the Sun Wukong is earthbound one, man. Earthbound means that it started from Earth, nah. So told you, one day in heaven is 1 year on Earth. So tell me, how long has Jade Emperor been around? Many thousands of years, right? So Taisang Lao Jun has caught back up, yes, right? So then only he start to understand that, this. So that's why, when he joined the what we call the journey to the west that time, right? He don't fight like last time already, right? So last time, he can hit the entire heavens army, right? So we have a session that talk about the particular battle, right? So he can hit the entire army with relatively no problem. But why, when he is in the journey to the west, right? Every single demon also is a problem for him to fight one. It's like he cannot fight any of the demon, he just keep on, have to go and ask for help, have to go and this, go that. Right? So also the same thing now when you are in the workforce long enough already, so you start to understand what is corporate life. You stop being the hero already. Every single time anything happen, you would gather people around, you know how to work the system. Unlike the youngster 3 years working experience, everything like I do it alone, I can. You will never do anything alone anymore, right? So which means that without certain, you will start to know that who is the elder, right? So the elder, in the elder council, who are the people, and you also identify who is the what we call small people. You will start to identify, you will start to see all of these things around you, right? So then when you start to do this, when certain things happen, so already, must go and ask the elder council, must discuss with your colleague, right? So all this kind of stuff, right? So Sun Wukong, took a long time to learn this lesson. Right, so and also at the same time, why does the people up on the heaven courts usually quite support Sun Wukong? They actually quite support Sun Wukong when Sun Wukong come and ask for help that time, because Sun Wukong also assisted them during that time. Although he was suckered into the entire thing. So you see, Taisang Lao Jun again, right? His quota was going up and up. He know that cannot. Right, so even Wang Muniang also know that his quota is going up and up, right? So Zhen Yuan Daozhang also know that it's going up and up, and Sun Wukong come in and basically level everything. They are thankful of him actually, and they also know that if they continue to accumulate power, they will probably be gotten rid of and replaced by someone else. They actually get to keep their job because of Sun Wukong, Everybody is happy right now, it's like, okay, I lost my power, but, I'm still around. I still got my position. I still got my salary and everything, Everybody is happy, right? So the Jade Emperor is not feeling being threatened by people, stuff like that. Sometimes you need this to happen, okay? So does it mean that Pudi Zhi is actually Taisang Lao Jun's, that's why, maybe, I don't know. Right, so he told Sun Wukong not to tell his name. No, the one not to tell his name is because he know that Sun Wukong will create a lot of trouble. You see, these people again, right? These people who was in the system, they already know what is happening, right? The moment Sun Wukong was picked, for this particular role, they already know right? So that's why, they already pre-teaches Sun Wukong certain skill set. So I tell you, the Gen Douyin is for him to go back to heaven course to, seek help, seek approval, right? It's basically that, right? So not all of this particular thing, right? So can you see? So power is actually balanced by using third party a lot of time, right? So please don't be too naive when you are in any system at all. Anything that has basically been existing for some time, like for example our political system. There's a system inside. There is no way for you to basically say that I go in because I'm a just person, or because I got moral right, so stuff like that. No, sorry, there's a lot of things happening under the sea. Corporate also is the same, right? So even your justice system also is the same. Okay, right? So every single thing got a system, there are certain, again, rules and regulation, quite good. There are people on top, who's whatever it is, right? So you are just a small little pieces of chess going inside. You try to fight the entire system. Right? So, you probably is one of the pawn, like Sun Wukong, is, being played. Right? So, so when you're talking about pawn is that if you succeed, great. If you don't, I also don't lose anything. Right? So there are people who, you need to understand the macro rule that you are playing with. You need to understand the macro rule that's basically inside. Right? So there's no way for you, like for example, even if let's say that you want to become a accountant auditor, right? So you have to do the tough audit. Right? So you can talk to any of the accountant, right? So you can talk to any of the accountant, right? So if let's say that you want to become a property agent, right? So to become property agent, do you know that you need to be attached to a actual property agent for like I think 3 years before you can get the property agency license, right? So you have to go through the rope lah, right? So you have to pass through the rope. But everybody love hero. If you survive lah, right? Right? But who say unsuccessful hero is destructive, right? You need to survive it lah, right? So entire thing, right? You want to become the hero, you have to survive it. Okay, right? So that's the entire. So do you see it seems like the entire thing is a conspiracy. Your Jade Emperor conspiring with Buddha. Right? So is there whatever damage, they could have stopped Sun Wukong there and then, yeah, right? Do you think he got any chance of coming to cause us so much trouble? Yeah, they can stop Sun Wukong there and then, right? Why didn't they do so? And I know Sun Wukong destroyed the quadrant. The fella could have the quadrant will be back, no problem one, right? Why do all this was allowed to happen? It is for the effect that's behind it, which is to cut the power of this three fella, right? So, and to basically test if this three fella understand the situation or not. Yeah, you guys are too powerful already. So, so I cut, alright, so then the three submit, said, oh, okay lah, never mind lah, cut all. But then they also negotiated, now this thing gone already, cannot produce, yeah, no, so you're fine, so you're fine, I'm fine, everybody finds, everybody, look like it. They won't blame the, they won't blame the Jade Emperor, right? So they also cannot blame the, whoever that's producing the thing, right? So right now they can't blame the two parties, it's not their fault, supposedly, Sun Wukong fault, right? So Sun Wukong fault, right? So Sun Wukong become the scapegoat, fall guy. Right, fall guy for this, then everything is reset, he retained his power, the fella got a way lower quota already, much lower quota, no one can fault anyone. Happy ending, correct or not? Right, so in all in all, in achieving happy ending, and it's in a small price of imprisonment of Sun Wukong for 500. So that's why after 500 years already, a lot of this, right? So I've told you, the Book of Death, Sun Wukong went in and basically destroyed the Book of Death. So now again, right, with the power of them, right, the fellow want to restore the Book of Death is like this only one. Yeah, right. So but why did the fellow did not restore the Book of Death? Yan Wang, right? Yan Wang, he didn't restore the Book of Death, but Yan Wang actually went up to again went up to heaven and, you know, you see, the fella destroy my boat, you see, destroy my boat. Oh, look, see, the fella change everything. Why did the fella need to go up and do that? It's because number one, right? He himself had changed the book many, many times. Right? He himself is also worried that, you know, somebody may find out that he have changed the book many, many times. Now Sun Wukong come down, you know, so, you know, now you see why the small little servant also can bring Sun Wukong down. It's because Sun Wukong is actually not a very powerful fella, right? So they just make him look powerful, you know, boost his confidence, right? So bring him down, and exactly what he want him to do is to, you know, destroy the book. Once you destroy the book already, right, whatever thing that I've changed before that, he bear the consequence. Yes. Right? So sometime, you know, when you need to do a massive cleanup, but there probably maybe, you know, too many parties involved. So you need a third party to come in and destroy things. And then you blame everything to the third party. Right? You blame everything to the third party. By the way, I don't know whether YouTube will ban me. The US actually does a lot of this. It's called changing regime. Right? US does a lot of changing regime, you know. So this particular party don't listen. I create a smaller party. I finance a smaller party to, you know, rebel. Right? So if you take the recent Indonesia one, right? So if you see, I don't know, the people who went and do all the riot and everything, is given food, is given money one. Who actually finances it? Right? They actually have food one. Got people distribute food on the street for the rioters. And then got pocket money. Who finance it? Right? Somebody finance this thing. Right? So, and fire started in places where, you know, there's no advantage burning. Like, you know, burning the train station. You burn the train station for what? No, any idiot also know train station. I need to ride the train. I burn the train station for what? Right, so there is also Nepal, and they go and burn Hilton. They burn Hilton for what? Okay. No Face is defeated by Sun Wukong. All right. So now you go and think of all of this. You go and think of all of this, and then, you know, then you ask yourself, the what we call the petty people that you always say is petty people. Is the guy really petty, or is the guy is just in service of a more powerful figure? Think of that. Right? So, no, it's very conspiracy theory from my side. But anyway, right? So, the story embedded this sort of thinking for you to think about, right? So that's why Journey to the West is not just Journey to the West. So sometimes, you can go into the story and, start to think about why this happened. Right? If they are, so powerful, why can't they just do this? But why do they allow this to happen? And why is the, the story go in this particular manner, right? So Sun Wukong learned his lesson already. Then after that, no more trying to be hero, no need to whack everybody, he also become part of the actor team. Right? So next episode, we talk about, the Golden Award actor in this particular story. Haven't caught Golden Award actor. Okay, right? So, that's it, right? So I just want to share a little bit, happy information for you all, right? So I hope that you guys find this entertaining, right? So if I can find more of this particular story, I share. Right, so Journey to the West, I know a little bit more because it's from small, got see the show, got read this thing, right? So that's all I need, right? So again, just take this as entertainment purpose. Doesn't need to be real, right? So don't need to be too, it's like, oh, this one is scientifically not correct. Doesn't matter. Right, so do not matter, because again, the people who wrote this, again, he also have a purpose of writing this. He also have his limitation. He also have, things that he can and cannot do. Right, so simple as that. All right, so guys, take care of yourself. See you guys. Bye.